Welcome everybody. Marty, I think you are late. But then we excuse you, we forgive you for coming late. Peter Rogers, everybody, welcome. Thank you, Anita, for coming back after a very long time. I'm very, very happy. I'm blessed to have you back. And you want to be here again every day. Guys, for your information, Anita has been a bit unwell. I'll say a bit unwell. And so we just have to keep on praying and thanking God for healing, and not only for her, but for anybody else who needs our prayers. Thank you, sis, for joining us again. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Comfort. It's lovely to be back. I'm really, really glad I'm feeling well enough to be here tonight, and hopefully it may carry on for a lot longer.
Yes.
So hi to Andy as well. It's nice to be here. Hello to everyone. Looking forward to this evening.
Indeed. Thank you. Hello, Andy. It was a wonderful discussion with you, Marty, Jeffrey, and Collins this evening. So thank you again for coming back.
We certainly had a giggle, and I love the way that we can all kind of interact.
I know. Yes. Yeah, that's the fun of it. So guys, you need to check out on Digital Blueprint. The one this evening was fire, just like as usual. So back to this other business. Now we are trying to look out, why is it important to be testing our product OConnect? So Anita, we give you the honor to start the discussion.
Right, I just noticed, I think I've actually got the wrong one up there, but anyway, never mind. Okay, so look, it's very important to test things. I mean, first of all, I mean, there's 5 things that come to mind for me, okay, and I'm sure Andy will probably elaborate on these a bit more because he's a bit more technical than me, okay, but and you know, everyone knows how to refer to my notes. I'm a couple of months older than when I was last on here, so you know. Functionality, first of all, okay? That's a really big thing, okay? Number 1. I mean, you've got to test everything. I mean, on a video conferencing tool, obviously, you've got to make sure you can join a meeting, share screens, and perform other sort of functions, okay? I mean, you've got to do that, number 1. You've got quality control, number 2, okay? So, you know, you've got to test for bugs and technical issues before you can release the product, right? And you've got to ensure, you know, the smooth and reliable user experience during the meetings. Let's face it, that's what it's for. It's for meetings. So it has to work, you know, during a meeting. Number 3, you know, it's user experience improvement as well, because you see it's the testing and gathering the feedback really from the users that improves the interface design, the ease of use, and the overall satisfaction with the software. Number 4, you've got the security enhancements, security enhancement. So, you know, testing uncovers and addresses security vulnerabilities, all right? So protecting user data and privacy from potential threats, that sort of thing. Okay, and number 5, and last but not least, is your compatibility checking. Because testing ensures the video conferencing tool works well, you know, on different devices really, so operating systems, you know, browsers, network environments, allowing the users to access and use it effectively. So there's those 5 things, the main things that come to mind for me that have to be tested.
Sure, thank you so much, Anita. Okay, let me try to unmute so that we do better with sound. So guys, we want to take a disclaimer here. Anita, Andy, and myself, we are just lay people. We are not IT experts. We are not building ONPASSIVE products. But why we're trying to look at this and to discuss from our own perspective is because instead of you sitting there, complain and do nothing, because maybe ONPASSIVE is taking a little bit a different turn, which will still get there, instead of sitting there and complaining, go test your product. This is the reason why you should do it. So we are just looking at it like you two would, and not as IT experts. So Andy, why is it important for you and myself to be testing our product?
Well, look at it from the feedback perspective. So we've got a number of affiliates. We're all affiliates. We're all part of the business. So this is technically our first paid product, and as affiliates, this is something we're going to be able to offer to others to take advantage of. Now, Ash made it clear the other day, look, this is the worst you're ever going to see this. And by the way, in 3 months' time, we'll have a totally new version, which will be 10 times as good as this one. You go, whoa, hold on a second. But it's the feedback that is key and is important. So if you're going to do an OConnect call with some people, with some friends or family, if there's anything that crops up that you think, oh, that doesn't look right, or there's something wrong, you can write the comment, make the comment, and send it to one of us so that we can pass it on, and the tech team will go, oh yeah, okay, bang, done, and it's dealt with. Now, what has happened in the past is that we've passed all that feedback upline, so that everybody in the chain of command understands what the issue is, and then the tech team have gone bang, 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 dealt with everything. Now, how cool is that? Now we know that if you get, you know, Microsoft, we had Microsoft Windows 97, and then it was 2001, 2003, 2007, 2010, and so on. And the problem is that every time they've released it, they haven't dealt with the bugs. They've just released it, and you have no choice in the matter when you get in a new machine, because all of a sudden you're on the latest system. The problem is that there's so many bugs, so you're constantly getting updates that have to be downloaded. We don't have that. We don't have that issue at all. The whole system could be changed in the ecosystem without us even knowing, so that next time we log in, there's new photos up, there's new buttons in there, there's new anything can be new, colors, design, whatever. It's done instantaneously because the AI is taken over. So when we give feedback by going and utilizing these systems, whether it be OConnect or whether it be ONet or OMail or any of the other products that start to come out, you can go, this is, you know, this has an issue, I'm not quite sure about this doesn't seem right, pass that feedback upline, and it's dealt with. That for us is far better than going to market with an inferior product and then going up, don't worry guys, we'll fix it later. No. So we haven't gone commercial yet. We are the beta testers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. I would say it does, Andy. And again, while we're doing this, guys, let's join in the conversation. Drop your perspective in the chat, because we need to discuss this together. You know, there's this guy, the name is very difficult to say, but I will read what he says. He says, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. I am African and I know what that means. Listen, if you want to undermine the mosquito from their size, try to spend a night with them. So why am I saying this? We are in the millions, just, you know, so, and many people just think that they don't have anything doing, you don't have anything to offer because ONPASSIVE is massive and you are not at that level. You don't know what your tiny contribution of just testing with your friends or family, and you find out this and you say, hey, Andy, Marty, Red, this is what I found out when I was testing OConnect with my friends. And it goes back to right to Ash, and they say, let's have a look. And then they put it right. Thanks to your testing and thanks to your feedback. And that's the history in making. That's where your name goes into the annals of the history of ONPASSIVE, or the journey and all of those things. So if you think that you have nothing to offer, remember that Ash says we are all the same. We are partners. We are, you know, members of the same family. And so your opinion counts, your contribution counts. What do you do to your business? Do at least a tiny little thing every day. And the tiny little thing that you and myself expect to do is what is fun. Because just being on OConnect, testing and sharing the fun and stuff, and you find out this, and then you send it over while they do the heavy lifting. What a fun, Anita. So I'll leave it to you here. Thank you.
Okay, well, first of all, just to touch on something Andy said there. I mean, Windows Vista, I don't know if anybody knows this, but they actually took over 6 years, okay, to release Windows Vista, Microsoft did. And even then, they had numerous setbacks during that time. And even then, okay, when it was released, there were still issues. and they still had to do updates on it. Now that was 6 years. So, you know, all I can say is when people are sort of, you know, getting a little bit, oh, what's taken so long, try to bear that in mind. And we haven't just launched that. That's just one product of theirs. Okay, you know, we've done other things in our 5.5 years, right? So anyway, the fun side of this is, look, if you are too scared or nervous or embarrassed or whatever it is to get on to a meeting and speak and test out OConnect, then, you know, you can do it on your own. You can actually set up a meeting, and I have said this before, but you can go into the ecosystem and set up a meeting. Okay, you can't break it, so just play around, set it up. You can actually even start the meeting straight away, to be honest. So you could set it up for 15 minutes away, but actually you can press a button to start. And straight away you'll see yourself on there, and you can sit there and press buttons to your heart's content. You don't have to worry about anybody else seeing you. You don't have to worry about doing anything wrong. You can just practice sitting there and even talking to yourself if you really want to. Have I done that? Yeah. But, you know, you have to.
We've all done that, Anita.
Well, you know, that's it. So you just have to play around, don't you? You know, you go in and you think, what does that button do? You know, have a little play and look at the little emojis going up, your little clapping hands and your burgers and everything else, you know, press the sounds and just play around with it, really. But if you do have somebody that you can say, come on and have a meeting with me, it doesn't have to be a professional. It just has to be, like you say, a friend, family member, but just practice on your own first. And as soon as you do, and you start enjoying it, think, my God, I didn't realize it did that. That's amazing, you know. When you see those things, you'll want to tell other people about those features. And then, you know, you can go from that meeting on your own to just grabbing a relative and saying, look, just come on there and have a quick meeting with me. Don't even call it a meeting. Just you know, in lockdown, people were, you know, contacting Aunt Flo and Granny in other countries and everything else, and just literally chatting in their slippers and pajamas and everything. So just play around. You can't break it. All of that is essential because that is testing it. That is what Ash wants us to do. That's why he wanted, you know, founder members in the first place. You know, now we're ambassadors, but at the end of the day, that's why we were there in the first place, to be testing everything, beta testers. That's what we are.
Yeah, Andy, I think Anita is right, because the best way of teaching yourself is, first of all, doing it by yourself, because you have all the time to yourself. You click here, you touch, you click on every feature, say, what is this meant for? What? And then it pops up and tells you it's a prompter. You click on it and try it out. That's how then it gives you the courage to share it with another person, to see what I found out on OConnect. And I believe, after listening to Collins and his crew, you know, I believe that even when we test, we go on it and back and forth and all of those, even if we don't report, we don't give feedback that this is what we found out, monitoring is going on backstage by the guys themselves who have built the product. And so if we don't go on it, they will not have what to monitor. And so they will not have what to make up or to fix when things, you know, when things pop up. So everything, every effort is loaded. So let's just go on. First of all, teach yourself, discover it one after the other. What are all these features for? What is this one here and that here? Click on it and then come out and so on. Like Anita says, you will not break anything. Andy, over to you, please.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point, Anita. You know, by doing these things on your own, and you can set one up on your own. You know, I'm like you. I talk to myself on a regular basis. I'm the only person that will listen to me. But the beauty of it is that, as Comfort's quite rightly said, you start to learn all the various features that are in there and how they work. And that is really key, because if you're going to talk to other people about this at a later date, when we go commercial, if you coming from a position of knowledge, you're coming from a position of power. Yeah. You know, I always found it amusing that a lot of the guys in the office that we had would never go and see a CEO or a president or a vice president of a company because they were too scared. And I never understood that, because I know my business, they know theirs, they're very good at it. So if you go and explain your business to somebody that knows another business, they take on board what it is that you're saying. So this is great. If you can learn, or the more you can learn about OConnect, the more that you'd be able to feel confident about talking to others about it. And what's the name of the game? Sharing. We don't have to, I agree, but I like the idea of sharing. If you've got something good, let's take this back to a restaurant. You go into a fantastic restaurant, you have the most superb meal. Are you going to tell your friends? Yeah, of course you are. So if you're using a digital product, or you've done something, you've driven in a car or something, it doesn't matter. You tell your friends of what you enjoy doing. So if you've turned around and gone, oh, we've been on this thing, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It does this, 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 and this, and it's got all of these other additional features. Now, how hard is that? Someone sometime is actually really going to annoy you and go, can you send that to me? I'd quite like to listen and have a look at that.
Talking about the power of testing, you know, and it has just a lot to play. You know, last week I decided to go adventurous, Andy. I said I am streaming live from OConnect to YouTube, and I brought on board Red and Jeffrey. What happened? We had a great chat, but then they could hear only me. Everybody was on the chat. We can't hear the rest and stuff like that. That's a big thing, you know. You're just like, okay, now let's get to the root of this. Definitely, I do strongly believe that the team should be working on that, so that in the next couple of sessions, you know, after that, we should be able to sit here and then they hear Andy, hear Anita, or they hear Jeffrey, and they hear Red, and not only myself as the host. So if we did not do that, maybe we were the first person to discover that there was such a thing. And so they are working on it. It's such a good thing to happen. And so we all have to try and share our experiences. So meanwhile, ONPASSIVE is becoming our second nature, because we are just tarrying here because apples are not rolling yet and we feel like nothing is happening. But we're living with this till the kingdom comes, till the last minute of our breath. So you just, it's up our life. And so we need to master it. Not necessarily because you want to say share if you don't want to, but you still need to know it. Because if somebody invites you on that, you say, I don't really want this, I have something better. And what's better about it? You don't need to go into the technicalities, you don't know how it functions, but you tell them what you have seen. Do you know they have a projector? Do you know they have you can share link immediately, you can push a link, you can play videos, you can do this. We had fun the other night with Peter, Rogers, Collins, and the rest. Those are just the things people want to know. How easy it is to use and stuff like that, and they get on board even without you knowing. You know, before I go, the testings that we've made 2 times, one with Red, what I did with Red, and the other one with the OTech Pro. I saw people who have been here, Andy, as long as we 3 have been. They dropped a comment asking, was this video recorded on OConnect? That is how much people are disconnected from their own OConnect that is connecting the world in an instant. So they found out here on social media that their product is so useful and so already ready to go. So Anita, I think I'll just let you speak. Sorry.
Okay, look, let me just say something about.
You need to unmute yourself. I think on your laptop, because
no, you're fine.
Is open. You can't hear you. Your laptop microphone.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Far away.
Yeah, Andy can hear me.
Andy, can you hear?
Andy can hear me.
Andy, can you hear me?
I can
speak.
Indeed.
I can't hear Andy.
I can hear you too. Right.
All right, guys, hear me in the chat. Can you hear Andy and Anita, or can you hear me? Because I cannot hear Andy, I can't hear Anita. Anita, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Guys, let us know. Can you hear Andy and Anita, or can you hear myself? Let's know. Andy. I can hear Anita now.
Can you? You can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Right, okay, good.
I can hear both.
Oh, gosh. Well, what I was actually about to say was, before this started, you see, I mean, this StreamYard has been out a while, right? Okay, and we had some glitches before this meeting, didn't we? You know, Andy and I had to log out and log back in because we froze. There was all sorts going on, and I came back in, and just because they're the same color, I thought my backdrop there was the same one I had put on, the correct one, but obviously it lost it when I come out and went back in. So obviously that's my mistake, but I'm just trying to say that these things will happen even on something that has launched years ago and that is working well normally. Just glitches happen. So the thing with Ash is he wants things to be really quite perfect, you know, as much as they can be for the user experience. Okay, so he would rather take time to get that to that level because of the caliber of people going to be using our product. We're not just talking about earlier on when I'm saying practicing with Aunt Flo or Granny, you know, or whatever. You know, we're talking about, you know, governments and all sorts of people that want to be using OConnect. So it's really, really important that Ash gets that really working to the best he can. Now, no one's saying that, I mean, because it's out there, obviously, there are public using it. You know, it's not just us, you know, brand ambassadors, you know, using it. It's also the customers. Okay, so but obviously, like I just said about with Windows, once somebody's launched something, it doesn't stop there, does it? You have to keep updating and keep updating. So that's exactly what's happening. It's updating. It's not like some people would have, oh, it's got this fault, it's got that fault. It's not working. They are things that need tweaking as we go, and the more people that use it, the better. So, you know, really, right from day one, all we can, you know, keep on reiterating to people is the more that we all get on there and play around with it and do stuff with it, the more feedback you can give, and the better that they can pick up on what needs altering and fixing.
Yeah, I think because the truth is that you can never have it 100% all right before you take it out there. Like you rightly say, we have what we
Exactly.
have is better than excellent. It's just that it's Ash and what we are waiting for, which we know Andy. But then why not use the opportunity to get actively involved so that you also have a story to tell? Some people would have been here for a couple of years, but tomorrow when we're telling the story, sharing the history, and looking back memory lane, people will be listening like audience. Meanwhile, they're the people to share what they've experienced throughout this whole journey. So, Andy, let's round this up, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's as I said today, and the more you get to understand what it is that we've actually got hold of, you know, we were talking earlier on about the system going viral. Now, you know, what does viral actually mean? It means that it just explodes across the market and everybody starts talking about it, everybody starts using it, and everybody wants access to it. And if you've got that and you're part of the business, so from our point of view, we're affiliates, okay? So it means that millions of customers are going to come on board, and they have to come, you know, fall into a customer base of one of the original early bird founders. Fantastic. But if you've got a product that is value for money, far superior to what else is available on the marketplace, because you and I have practiced and passed that feedback back, that ensures that more and more customers come on board. We're helping the company to ensure that we've got the best product when it goes to full commercial release. Now, again, we talked earlier on about the marketplace. There are over 5.4 billion people that use the internet today, and every single one of those could do with using one of the products that we have, even if it's the social media platform. But all of this is being tested at the moment by us, and that makes a difference. And so much so that Ash has got to the point where he says, do you know what? This is good, but it's not great. I'm going to I'm going to make it even greater, because that's what we do. That's you know, that for everybody within the organization right now, that for me is excellence. If you've got excellence in a business, you've got one of the most profitable businesses you're ever going to have.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, I can hear you now. All right, thank you. All right, Anita, your last take too, please.
Well, I think everything's been said really, but you know, just to wrap it up, I can't really say much more. Just repeat myself in saying, you know, if you have not been on and had a go at OConnect, you are really missing out, because even for those people that think it's something they're never going to use, you know, there's lots and lots of people say, but I'm not going to use it. It doesn't matter. It's something that you are going to be able to look back in time. You know, I think, my God, I was there right at the beginning. I was beta testing that product. I was giving some feedback. You know, that product one day is going to be just so out there and so huge. It's going to be a household name. And when people are talking and saying, oh, have you seen that OConnect, blah, 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 you know, you want to be able to say, actually, I haven't just seen it. I'm actually a founder in the business. I'm a brand ambassador. You can't say you're a brand ambassador if you actually don't even know what the product is or what it does. You need to at least be able to just see that side of it. So just get in there, play around with it, and you don't need to get technical. You really don't. I'm not technical. Just play around with the buttons and see what it does, and take bits from it that you think you might be able to use in the future, even if it is just to get on and have a free chat with somebody in another country. But you know what? When you're doing that, that person might actually have a reason to use it and buy it from you. So that's the point. Just get people looking at it, because they might want to actually buy it, and you'll earn some commission.
Yes,
Anita,
that's very important, because even though Ash and his team are doing everything for us, just from sharing, because you wanted to help that person understand that there's something more useful here, and they end up buying it, you make extra money. We can never make enough, because you may have enough for yourself, but the vulnerable person is waiting out there for you to bring the extra to them. So it's not about you sharing because you want to make money. You're sharing to help someone, and in the course of sharing, you get rewarded. That's just it. But then what about you nourishing your own self with the information about something that is rightly or rightfully yours, you know? So you can never go wrong with doing anything in the ecosystem. Let's keep the fire burning. It's just a sweet experience, testing, sharing your experience. It goes a long way. So guys, we love you so much. And once again, if you missed out on the chat this evening on Digital Blueprint, you want to go back there, check out on Marty. Tomorrow, we're also coming. We have a new guest in the house. And I hope we see you soon. In case you've forgotten to subscribe to our channels, why not go ahead and do that now? Click on the bell, because we'll see you again soon. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Anita, for coming. Thanks, Andy. Bye.